Today, we're diving into a scientific whodunit that completely changed how we see the universe. Seriously, it's a story about a broken law, a phantom current, and the brilliant detective who pieced it all together.
So, it all kicks off with a really simple circuit and an observation so strange it seemed to break the known laws of physics. And this single, baffling question, well, it would lead to one of the greatest unifications in the history of science.
Okay, let's set the scene of the crime. The setup is super simple. We've got a capacitor, which is really just two metal plates with an empty gap between them, hooked up to a battery and a switch. That's it. Now look at this. Near the wire, everything is behaving exactly as you'd expect. We know that a current of moving electrons creates a magnetic field, and that makes the compass needle move. No surprises there. But here's the mystery. No electrons can actually jump across that empty gap. There is no physical current. So why on earth does the compass dance there too? I mean, this observation was a huge puzzle, a total ghost in the machine. It suggested one of two things. Either every compass in the world was broken, or maybe, just maybe, our fundamental understanding of physics was missing a piece. At the time, scientists had a rule for exactly this kind of thing. It was called Ampere's law. But this little dancing compass, it was about to put that law on trial. And you've got to understand, this law was the bedrock of magnetism. It was clear, it was tested, it was accepted. It basically said one simple thing. If you want a magnetic field, you need a current. Period. No current, no magnetic field. And this just lays it all out, doesn't it? The law worked perfectly for the wires, where there was a real, honest-to-goodness current flowing. But it failed spectacularly in the gap. It predicted zero magnetic field, which flatly contradicted what scientists were seeing with their own eyes. So this is where our story's detective, James Clerk Maxwell, enters the case. He stepped in and noticed the one crucial detail in that gap that everyone else was completely overlooking. Maxwell realized that while no charges were moving across the gap, something else was happening. The electric field inside that gap wasn't static, it was changing. It was growing stronger and stronger as the capacitor charged up. This change over time, that was the clue. Now, he drew his inspiration from a fact that was already known, thanks to Michael Faraday. A changing magnetic field creates an electric field. So Maxwell just wondered, does nature have this beautiful hidden symmetry? Could a changing electric field create a magnetic field? And that one elegant question led Maxwell to propose this truly revolutionary idea, a whole new kind of current, one not made of moving charges, but born from change itself. He called it displacement current. It's not a physical flow of electrons, but it produces the exact same effect. It generates a magnetic field. It was the ghost that was making that compass dance all along. This phantom current was the missing piece of the puzzle. It perfectly explained why there was a magnetic field in the gap where no real current could possibly be flowing. Ampere's law wasn't wrong. It just didn't tell the whole story. So Maxwell elegantly fixed Ampere's law. You can see right here in the formula, he just added a new term to account for this displacement current. This created a more powerful, more complete version that worked everywhere, both in the wires and in the empty gaps. But here's where the story gets really wild. Fixing this one law had an astonishing domino effect. This small correction didn't just solve a small puzzle, it accidentally revealed the very nature of light itself. This created an incredible self-sustaining loop. A changing electric field gives birth to a magnetic field. But guess what? That new magnetic field is also changing, which in turn gives birth to a new electric field, and on in this endless, beautiful dance. And this amazing interplay means the disturbance doesn't need a wire or air or anything to travel. It can just propagate itself through the total vacuum of space, traveling as this self-sufficient wave of electric and magnetic energy. Okay, now here comes the kicker. Using nothing but his new corrected equations, Maxwell decided to calculate the speed of this theoretical wave, and the number he got was 299,792 meters per second, a number that was already very, very familiar to physicists. The speed he calculated was exactly the measured speed of light. The conclusion was just undeniable. It was breathtaking. This electromagnetic wave he had discovered on paper wasn't just like light. It is light. He had uncovered the true identity of light itself.
So just think about the takeaways here. This entire journey started with a compass needle just twitching in empty space. And it ended by unifying electricity, magnetism, and light into one magnificent theory, revealing that radio waves, X-rays, and the light we see are all just different flavors of the exact same thing.
It really leaves you wondering, doesn't it? What seemingly small puzzles or broken rules that we're seeing today might just be hiding the next great scientific revolution, just waiting for another detective like Maxwell to notice the right clue.